Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Purple Acorn live stream coming to you from RecFest in Nashville. If we haven't met, my name's Kyle. I am the founder and principal analyst at Kyle & Co., a modern research and advisory firm. And I am joined by what I'm told was the best speaker of the entire event. Literally, this happened just a moment ago.
Breaking news. It's
breaking news.
Right?
Coming to you live. Rocki, say hey. Introduce yourself.
Hey, people. We are having a ton of fun here at RecFest 2025. It's been absolutely amazing. And I can't think of a better way to top off and wrap up. Like, this is exciting.
I mean, it really is. I had a really great day, or a really great time. Got to go out with some friends, got to sit around and listen to some really great conversations. I've got to say, this might be the year that RecFest has really found its moment, you know? They've been going and chugging along, and, this has been a really good one.
You know, it's interesting that you say that. Part of the magic of RecFest is the relationships that you can build
100.
And the friendships that you will find will last. And I was very concerned that with the growth and expansion, you lose that connection.
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite things is we've had great sessions, high quality people, things that you've learned, but you haven't lost that ability to connect and reconnect with people.
Oh, for sure.
So it's been a great balance of both of them.
I was at an event last night, and there were people who haven't seen each other in forever running into each other, and the hugging.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? They're like,
That's
you know, and I just, don't you love that? You know, that's really special.
It never gets old.
Well, speaking of special, I know that you, literally, somebody just walked up and told Rocki that they were the best session of the week. Talk to us a little about
that on camera, but we're not lying to
you know what? It really did happen. But tell us about it. Tell us about what you spoke about, what was in there.
You know what? We can't get away from the conversation of AI, right? And the truth is, lots of recruiters are really concerned about how this is going to impact them. The truth is, we need to stop being scared. We need to stop running from it. And so my opening line for my talk today was, if you think AI can replace you, it's going to.
Say it again.
If you think AI is going to replace you, it's going to, because it means that you don't understand the real value you bring to the recruiting process.
Yep.
It means you're not focusing on the right things. You're doing those check the box things that make you feel good, false metrics. You're not focused on the humanity part of the conversation. So if you really are really sincerely nervous that AI is going to replace you, you need to really take a step back and look at what work you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it. The good news is we talked about how AI can make you replaceable, and I think that's the thing that people need to be thinking about. What are the things that we can use where AI takes the repetitiveness, the admin, gives us data, makes us look like heroes, but the truth is we are the people who do the work.
Sure.
And so you can't lose sight of that.
Well, I think it's really interesting. That's a very empowering message. It's a warning sign. But the other side of that is an invitation, to take ownership of meet this moment, right?
Well, and anytime we see a transformation, so the other thing that I said is I've been recruiting since 1991. Here was my tech stack. My tech stack was a telephone, a phone book, which some of you listening to this will be like, what the heck is a phone book?
Yeah.
And it was, instead of Salesforce or CRM or ATS, I had a piece of paper every day where I wrote names on it, and I had a 1 to 100 because I had to make 100 calls a day.
Jiminy Christmas.
The thing about growing up in recruiting there is that when new technology came, we never saw it as a threat. We saw it as an evolution.
Yeah.
The fax machine showed up. I didn't have to mail resumes anymore.
Yeah.
The computer showed up. Oh, I don't have to use the typewriter. I can send email. Job boards showed up. We never saw it as a threat. LinkedIn showed up. Google showed up. It continued to evolve. But those of us who started recruiting way back when, we kept the focus on people. We kept the focus on the discipline and the art and the science of doing the work.
Sure.
And we learned that these tools were just that. They were tools to make us better.
Yeah. This could be more catalytic then, because what you're describing, I completely can see how we got there. Recruiting did become very task-oriented. It was a lot of task-level work, a lot of process-level work. We were processing people. We weren't engaging people, right?
And that's what it's become.
Absolutely. And so that is probably why people are a little anxious and nervous, because they're like, well, if all this process-level, task-level stuff goes away, what do I do here?
What do I do?
But But that's an actual question that we need to answer,
It is.
right? That's not like throw your hands in the air.
It's not philosophical.
It's not. It is not abstract. It is very immediate. We need an answer to that.
We need an answer to that. And so part of the thing that we did is we talked about these various parts of the interview process, right? Like, let's talk about the intake. Intakes suck. Like, and I would ask people, how many people do successful intake meetings? Oh, nobody. Well, that's because hiring managers are just that. They're hiring managers. They don't recruit for a living. They have a whole job and a whole specialty. You are the person who is the consultant. Are you showing up that way? And you can use AI to prepare you. You can use AI to come with data. You can use AI to come to give you that expertise that you may not have had time to find or research before because you've got 20 open recs on your plate.
Absolutely.
But now you do, so it changes the game because that intake sets up everything else in the search.
Yeah.
AI is not going to build that relationship with the hiring manager. AI is not going to help recalibrate. AI is not going to build trust. You do that. And if you don't understand that, then we're just...
It's not going to build partnership. It's not going to build accountability.
Absolutely.
It's, you know what I mean? It's going to gaslight people, you know?
That part.
But I think that's really important. I mean, because we're here at an event where there are tons of technology providers, a lot of solution providers. Every one of them has AI all over the place in their pitch and in their booth and in their product. And all of them are saying that their value proposition is we're going to free TA up to do the strategic work. But that still remains like an undefined outcome. Like, you know what I mean? I'm seeing more TA leaders in their offsites stepping back and saying, hey, we need to buckle down and work on what is the role, what is the work. We need to get some really hard answers to this. This is where we're moving.
Well, that's the amazing thing about the work that I do with Textia, right? So this talk was inspired at Textia. We're working on a new product build, which is really exciting, not quite ready to announce. But if you think about Textia is AI for HR, and it has been AI for HR since pre-ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Right? And so the really cool thing about that is this understanding of we're not trying to have some quick tagline and some quick kind of value prop. We understand the real problems that recruiting professionals are facing and what really changes the game. And so what we're looking for is to how do we focus on moments that matter in the process for all of the stakeholders, the recruiter, the hiring manager, the TA leader, the candidate. How do we build AI that helps the people in the process do that better, right? And how do we take data points and turn them into hiring intelligence?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what you want. You don't want someone who's like, oh, I'm going to help you eliminate 30% of your staff. You want someone that says, what are you trying to accomplish? And here's how we get you there. So until you sit down and go, here's the problem we're trying to solve, that's 100%. How we start with the tech stack solution, but don't start with going and see the new shiny product. Start with,
but we love to do that. We love to do
it.
that because we do want an out-of-the-box solution. You know, the work is immense.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've observed this week is it's not just like do more with less. It's do more, do it better than you ever have before, and do it with less headcount and resources than you've ever had before.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like that
sure.
dynamic is just rapidly turned overnight. But that's why problem statements are so important. What is the problems that we're trying to solve? I do think AI it's very cool, it's very shiny, it's very interesting, but it needs to be more of a catalyst for change, right? We do actually need to step back and do process mapping, right? And do some data mining and try to really understand what is the current state. Where are my bottlenecks? Where are my opportunities to move faster? Where data can enhance decision making? And then what does the recruiter have to do within that new framework? I think we're still just piecemealing it. I don't think, and it is circumstantial because we're having to deliver on this at the same time as we're trying to innovate and evolve.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I do understand why we haven't done all of that deep delving and all of that redesign because we don't have capacity for it. I am seeing more people going into scenario planning and actually creating space to step out of the work and to do some of this, I think that's going to be a huge unlock for people.
It is going to be a huge unlock, because the challenge is if you go out and you're like, I'll buy that product and I'll buy that product and I'll buy that product, and you can use Copilot and you do all of those things and you don't do it thoughtfully or strategically, then what's going to happen is you're going to have this tech stack.
You should have a bunch of stuff.
You're going to have a bunch of stuff, and then you're going to be saying 6 months from now, we've invested all of this, we haven't seen the ROI, and so AI implementation didn't work. No, that's not the case.
And that is absolutely happening.
It is absolutely happening. We're already seeing
Your approach to solutioning didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? All right, well...
Or you skip the solution.
I mean, literally, you just buy the tech, which is the easy part, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
But, all right, so we're talking about the need to, like, completely rethink things, to look at, like, to build new frameworks. I would love to hear a little bit about Diversiology, which is a framework that you have built, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it. Plug your heart out.
We're really excited. So, one of the things that I'm really passionate about is it just shouldn't be so damn hard for people to show up at work authentically.
Yeah.
And we know I'm not going to do and have the whole conversation about the weaponization of diversity, equity, and inclusion. But what we're finding time and time again is that people still want to do the work. They still believe in belonging. They still know to recruit great talent.
Yeah.
You've got to make them welcome. We also are fighting other problems, right? We work in these hybrid or virtual environments. Trust is broken. AI is coming in. People are fearful. So how do we build that connection and we build that belonging? And so really inspired by a couple other people who are here, John Graham Jr., Torrin Ellis, we're now building a humanity practice framework, because it's just, I believe sincerely that you can change the world of work one story, one conversation, one action at a time. We just haven't taught people how to do it. So we're launching our first book, Build Your First Humanity Practice, in November. We'll be doing humanity practice certifications and teaching people how to become humanity practitioners at a deeper level, starting in January. Fingers crossed. I literally have to send somebody, our developer, a final check so he can do the final work on our assessment that we're launching. So if you want to know if you have a human-centered work culture,
I love that.
Here's what the competencies are. And if you don't, here's how you get there. We're launching that in December. And then the piece de la resistance will come in late Q1 of next year, where we're giving employees access, daily micro-training to learn, this is what I can do today. Here's how I build my humanity practice.
Sure.
And giving our HR practitioners the data they need to see how their culture is evolving
in the
real
day-to-day.
time.
Yeah, right? Because it's so hard to see the forest for the trees. You are constantly underwater, right? And so bringing it right there into that flow of work for them. We're solving for everybody else's problems and neglecting our own. We need to, I love to hear it, and I wish you the best. It's also so funny you're saying it's coming way out in late Q1. Like, babe, that is not far away.
22 seconds away,
for
sure.
I know.
Trust me.
I know.
I'm feeling the
You better write that check, babe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. That's a Howard family phrase. Y'all don't let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cash. And my mouth just wrote the check right here.
I mean, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
And what a highlight for us to wrap up RecFest with. I think it's so cool that we got to sit down and hear some of this incredible stuff that you're doing. It also is encouraging to me. I'm a researcher and I'm supposed to be studying the industry, and it's hard to make sure that I'm not too far in the ivory tower. And so be able to sit down with you, who is fucking doing it, you know what I mean, and doing it well and inspiring people, and hearing that we are seeing things very similar. It means I'm sure we have a lot of nodding heads back home. People are like, we can do this.
We can do.
You know what I mean? We really can meet this moment.
We can meet the moment, and we don't want to miss the moment. So, let's stay focused. Let's make sure we don't forget it's about humanity.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that we're using technology to our advantage to make us irreplaceable, and don't miss the moment, because the moment is here.
Absolutely.
It's not coming up.
No.
You don't have time to
there's
think about
there's
these
no wait and
things.
see, baby.
It is here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and you know what? Speaking of here, get out. Get out, build that business case to get out here to these events. Come out and build new relationships, reinforce existing ones. It's going to take a village, but these village people are a party.
They
really
ride.
is. Yeah,
they ride.
Really do.
Right? They ride.
That's so funny. I was introducing two people last night. I was like, oh no, she is one of my actual ride or die.
Yeah.
I'm making ride or die friends at industry events. You know what I mean? I love that. Yeah, the right ones. Well, I think this one is one. Yeah. All right, Rocki, thank you for joining me. What a way to wrap. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Purple Acorn live stream this week from RecFest. It has been an absolute blast. I hope you had some fun times listening to some new conversations. We will see you here next week at the HR Morning Show. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.